Welcome to Pat Pattison's Best of California. Today, how California won World War II. What kind of? I'm Pat Pattison, and I love California. So, Chris, I got to set this up for you. I mean, we are in the middle of paradise. Yeah. Oprah lives nearby. You got the Ritz-Carlton, one of the fanciest hotels in California, right here. But on February 23rd, 1942, this was the only attack on continental U.S. soil by the Japanese.
Right here?
Right here. There was a Japanese I-17 submarine right about where those structures were. And they opened fire on the Elwood oil field here. They got a pump house, they got a derrick, and it was mayhem. The people at Goleta were up on their roofs trying to see the submarine, and you know, this wasn't that long after Pearl Harbor.
A couple months.
So they knew that something was coming, and here it came. And so it was amazing. And the fact that the Japanese strategy really was to bomb the West Coast somehow and spread fear on the West Coast.
Well, it worked. I read about the Battle of Los Angeles, and what I learned about the Battle of Los Angeles, it was I think it was a meteorological air balloon that was up in the air a day or so afterwards.
Right.
And people thought it could have been an attack, right? Because they were scared, and they thought they might be invaded. And so the anti-aircraft batteries started firing, and then this one did, and then that one did, and it became chaos. And they were scared. And of course, think about the time we had after 9/11 and how nervous we all were, thinking that something was going to happen. And so everybody here was scared, and it turned out nothing happened. It was just a rumor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, they'd seen the headlines of this attack in the newspaper that day, and so I would be too.
It makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And then I read also that after the war, the United States discovered through Japanese, paperwork, that there was a planned attack on Christmas Eve, 1941. So just 3 weeks after Pearl Harbor, on San Diego Bay. And so they realized that attack, they were 20 miles off the coast of San Diego Bay, and they called it off. Japan called it off. Thank God they called it off. But how far is like 20 miles off the coast?
That's like where most of the Channel Islands and Catalina is off our coast. You can see it.
You can see it.
You would have seen them. Yeah.
Ah, so unbelievable that happened.
Yeah. So there's not a lot about this attack here.
I knew nothing about it. It's crazy.
But there's one little marker. Let me show it to you.
I'd love to see it.
This is the marker for the Japanese attack. One of the mementos of the attack. But I can show you a real memento of the attack, which is some of the debris from the derrick and the pump house. Actual debris. Amazing. So, Chris, I told you about the debris.
Yeah.
It's in this building. This is Timbers Rodhouse.
This building?
They took some of the timbers from the derricks and the explosion, and they built this building.
That's
crazy.
Yeah, wow.
And guess what? We can eat here, too.
Well, I like that part of it, of course.
So the amazing thing about Timbers Rodhouse is if you look up into the rafters, you can still see burn marks from the Japanese attack. Tex Blankenship and his wife saved some of the derrick timbers and built this amazing, amazing restaurant. So check out Timbers Rodhouse when you're up here in the Goleta area, and thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Blankenship, for saving this part of World War II history. So Chris, what do you think?
It is perfect. I cannot wait to dive into that.
So this is the chicken club without bacon, so I don't know how clubby it is, but it looks really good. I'm trying to eat light.
A little bit messy, but you can almost hear the crunch of it.
That's the important part of the Timber Rodhouse experience, is messy.
It's delicious.
Perfect. Thank you, Rodhouse. I'm Pat Pattison, and I love California.